confidence. If you are listening to this podcast, and you obviously are someone who likes to keep your brain fresh, fun, flirty, knowledgeable, and up to date on all the hot topics, but we're busy queens, right? It can feel like we never have time to do something as simple as read a book, right? Wrong. I am here to tell you guys about an app called Blinkist, which I love. Blinkist is an app that condenses down thousands of nonfiction books to the must-know information, so you can read an entire book in 15 minutes. I love to use Blinkist when I am traveling on an airplane. I can skim through about 4 books in that time. I recently just finished The Brain That Changes Itself, which, you know, we've talked about neuroplasticity on this podcast, so you can use Blinkist to figure out more about that. I also just finished Skim Your Life, which is a great book about learning all sorts of hacks to make the most out of your young adult life. And anyone that clicks the link in this podcast bio will get 1 week unlimited free Blinkist plus 25% off if you get the full membership. So go check out Blinkist. You get a week free if you use our link, and then you get 25% off a full membership. Enjoy Blinkist. Keep that brain fresh, girl. But before I introduce our guest this week, I have to do some announcements.
Do it.
Well, not like too many. First, I want to say congratulations to our winner from last week's giveaway, to @RachelKentXO, who won The Bachelor. Nick, I think his last name is Vial. Do you watch The Bachelor?
No.
Me neither.
Okay.
Well, you're winning his essential oils. And guys,
Ooh.
all she did was she just reposted about last week's episode. So she's getting a present for doing nothing but spreading the good word of this podcast.
I love it. I love it so much. Yes.
Welcome back, confidants, to another episode of Confidently Insecure, the podcast. We are absolutely sure we don't know everything. And I'd love to introduce this week's guest. Do you go by Alex or Alexandra? Alexandria?
Oh, so many. Yes. I go by Alex, but
Okay.
Alexander's cool too.
Okay, I'm going to call you Alex.
Okay, yeah.
We're on the friendship level.
I feel it.
Yeah, okay, we're vibing. What's your sign?
I'm a Leo.
Me too.
Yeah.
When's your birthday?
August 20th.
August 16th.
Stop it.
What's your rising and moon? Do you know?
Oh, I don't know.
We'll figure it out
Okay,
later.
we'll get there.
You are not only a TEDx speaker 2 times over, but you are also a wellness architect and author of a really fun book title that I like to say. It's From Beer Bunks to Broccoli.
Yes.
That's such a great title.
Thank you. Oh God, thank you for saying that. Because sometimes I'm like, what did I do?
No, I think it's so fun and
Do you?
relevant.
Okay, good.
I want to start out asking, what the fuck is a wellness architect?
Oh, I love it. I made it up. But to me, it's like I almost feel like I'm designing like a lifestyle for somebody that fits like with the habits they already have in place, and how do we make those habits healthy? So I'm like a little architect, like coming in.
All right, because like when I have to be honest, I was really nervous to have someone just in the wellness space in general come on the podcast because a couple of reasons. One, I'm really nervous about speaking about stuff like this as someone who comes from like a white cis semi-healthy and chronic pain space, who, you know, is perceived as relatively thin by societal standards.
Sure.
I did an episode, I hope I can say this. Well, I'm going to. I did an episode of another YouTuber's series called Extreme Body Makeover for Michelle Carre, which will be coming out soon, so you guys can see it. But like I talked a lot about in that episode how I have a lot of insecurities with my body, but never felt like I had the right to say anything about it because to everyone else, I look.
They're like, no one feels sorry for you.
Yeah, everyone's like, exactly. So
like, you're pretty, be quiet.
yeah, they're like, shut up, you're confident. And
Yeah.
I'm like, that doesn't mean, whatever, you get what I'm saying.
Totally.
So that was definitely one concern of mine with like talking about the subject. It makes me incredibly nervous, but all the more reason why I guess I should bring it up. And 2 is like, you're really pretty.
Oh, thank you.
Your
Oh, God.
Instagram is like flawless.
Oh,
and
thank
like,
you. Every day I just look at it. I'm like, get your shit together, Alex.
No, but I feel like
Yeah.
when people look at that aesthetic, it's really easy for someone to roll their eyes and go, that's something I can never be. That's like that's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's not, I don't have time in my life to become her, you know, like if you're watching this on youtube.com/DKellyDarragh, you're a very cute, tiny Italian.
Yeah.
I went by the last name, Catalano.
Ciao.
Yeah. And I just felt like, who the fuck is going to want to listen to two, I'm making air quotes, pretty bitches talk about diets? And I know that that's not what this is. So like, I want listeners to know that. Those are my reservations. Yes. I'm being vulnerable.
No, I love it.
Thank you for coming.
And I feel that way. I feel that way too, because there's sometimes like you go on Instagram and you're just like, oh, this sucks. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of times it's like, well, I can't go to a yoga class because I don't have Lululemon, or like,
no, I don't own one single
neither
piece.
do I.
Oh,
Ooh.
high five.
Shout out Fabletics. Not sponsored. Sponsored? Maybe? I don't know.
Not yet.
Fabletics, if you're listening.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, you know, that's something I've been really trying to craft lately, especially with my Instagram, is like, you know, there's a lot of companies out there that spend a lot of money on marketing to make things that aren't, in my opinion, healthy. And so I'm like trying to do like, I'm like, look at this freaking cucumber. Isn't it beautiful? Like, because like that's what I try to be the bulk of my Instagram is like ingredients that you have in your cabinet. They're not foreign. They're not crazy. Like that's all fun and there's a place for that. But I'm like, remember grapes? Like, you know what I mean?
Okay, this is gonna say a lot about you as a person.
Yeah.
Do you freeze your grapes?
Ooh, I love a frozen grape.
Ugh.
I know. I'm sorry.
Ugh.
I know.
I can't. I
You're
don't know
just
if
not
it's
a
the
vibe?
honestly, just talking about frozen grapes makes my nipples rock hard because I think just like it's not meant to be.
I know.
Someone did it and was like, yay, but it's not supposed to be frozen.
Okay, I love a natural grape too that is not frozen.
Okay.
I do like frozen mangoes. Have you done that?
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know why.
Another thing that I'm like, I don't know.
I don't
not
know.
supposed to be.
I know, but like the texture, it's like to me, maybe in my I gave up sugar 3 years ago.
Holy
I know.
shit.
I know.
Wait, okay. What?
I know.
How does one give up sugar? I mean, I'm assuming natural sugars is like you can sell
like
fruits
fruit
and
and
stuff.
all that. Yeah.
But you don't eat any processed sugar?
No.
Ever?
No.
What?
I know.
How do you live?
I know.
Well, that seems absurd.
It is. But, you know, for me, there's a really great documentary out there. I don't know if you've seen it. Maybe you have. It's called Sugar Coated. And it's all about the sugar industry. Yeah, write it down. It's fantastic. It used to be on Netflix, but it's not anymore. But I don't know. Maybe the sugar people like were like, get that off. I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised. I love a good conspiracy.
Same. They talk about the sugar industry, and they did a study, and they gave rats the option of cocaine and sugar, and the rats chose sugar. So that just shows you how addictive it is.
Oh my God, I love cocaine too.
Yes.
When I used to do it, I loved cocaine.
Wellness.
But I stopped because I knew how much I loved it.
Right.
I do have a problem with sugar.
Very
Hardcore.
similar. And, you know, for me, I was in a place like I was really struggling with, I had a really bad relationship with food. I had a lot of eating disorders. And sugar was the one thing that I felt like I couldn't control. I would binge eat and then I would feel really bad.
Yes.
And as soon as I took that out, the really cool thing that happened, I always tell people this, like when you don't have it, especially for a while, you don't miss it. You don't need it. And it totally recalibrates your taste buds where you're like, oh, grapes, when did they get so sweet? Like, because you're reappreciating food. And like, you know, for me, I eat things, and I know this sounds crazy, but it's like I eat a snap pea and I'm like, oh my God, it's so sweet.
That
like,
does sound fucking insane.
It sounds insane. I know
honest.
it does. But like you reappreciate what real food tastes like. And that has been really cool. And one of the things I love is like, I love muffins and cookies and all the things everyone loves, but I make them in a way with, you know, ingredients that are all really great that don't make me, you know, I've never had a client that's like, I just can't stop eating apples. I'm just binging on apples.
No, right.
Like,
I can't stop eating hard-boiled eggs.
that's great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Yeah.
About your sugar.
But, you know, like fruit and all those things have fiber and really great ingredients. So for me, that was, it's not for everybody, but it changed my life and it changed my relationship with food.
I want to go a little bit to like your background. Like,
Sure.
How did you get into this? You speak of EDs and your history with an unhealthy relationship with food, which I think a lot of people can relate to. And I think hearing the idea that someone has to change their like, I know it's going to make me feel better to cut out sugar.
Yeah.
I just can't. And I know I shouldn't say that.
I can't. I
but
won't.
I can't and I won't. But let's go back to like your history with how you got into this wellness architecting.
Totally. Should I have a little? Should I have a little tool belt?
Yes, like a little flip book.
Or what an architect? I don't know. Maybe a map. I don't know. Papers. I was going to college. I was going to USC, and I was studying to be an opera singer. You know,
excuse,
as a little Italians do.
Excuse,
I know.
Can we drop some?
You're right. See, you're so good. You don't need me.
That's about as high as I can go.
I love it.
I like to do it around dogs.
They probably love it.
They freak out.
Like,
yeah, their mind is blown.
So I was studying to be an opera singer, and when I was in college, a lot of the times it's like the first time most kids are away from home, so you could do whatever you want. And I, ate really unhealthily, and then when I tried to get healthy, I was like, I'm 34. Yeah, it sucks. I'm 34.
Oh shit, you look so young.
Thank you for saying that.
It's the no sugar.
Maybe. I
Motherfuck.
don't know. Well, I don't know, because I'm little too. So it's like, I could be 100 or like 20.
This is exactly what I'm talking about. It's like, I know that this can happen if I stop with the shit.
You look great to me. So whatever you're doing is working.
Here's your $20.
Thank you.
Before I say that.
Have a nice day.
And I'm gone.
And thank you for having me. So I was studying opera, and I kept losing my voice. And because I wasn't drinking water, I wasn't eating healthily. I was like binge eating and starving and doing all the things. And then I was looking to magazines like Cosmo or something to like learn a diet that would work for me. And it didn't. Yeah. Cosmo hates you.
Don't work.
Yeah, diets don't work. And so I kept losing my voice, and I got really lost because I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life because I couldn't sing, and it was the one thing I was good at. And somebody introduced me into like holistic nutrition. So I started like reading all these books. And then I went to this school called Integrative Nutrition in New York. Learned more about holistic nutrition, and then I was like, damn it, I'm gonna write a book. So I wrote my book for specifically for college students, because I was like, that's the time in your life where it's like you get to kind of come into your own and make your own decisions, and let's learn those habits now before you get into a 9 to 5.
It's so true that people don't think about like how much your nutrition has been decided for you.
Yeah.
And when you go to college, it's about convenience, it's about fitting in, it's about doing whatever the fuck you want. It's not something you want to think about. And that's where, the word freshman 15 comes into play, which I don't know how I feel about that word because it happened to me. And I didn't realize it until I was a junior. Like I was a string bean my whole life. I had a crazy fast metabolism, so much so that people in my high school started rumors about me that I had an eating disorder. And I was like,
oh geez,
what?
You're like, I'm just like,
I'm eating as much as humanly fucking possible. I love to eat. And I think when my metabolism slowed down, I got my womanly figure, I got my curves, I got my hips. I was confused on why and how to change the habits that I had learned for 18 years. I was like, how do I just stop eating whatever the fuck I want? And, hormones come into play major around that time.
Oh, yeah.
Like you're too busy having fun and being, or stressed out being a college student that you're not thinking about taking care of yourself.
No, and I think it's important, and honestly, I think it's really cool because I've seen how it's like it changes your life. Like for example, if you have struggle with acne or things like that, like changing your diet, your skin looks great. Changing your God bless.
Medical
medium. I love it. I love it. Oh, later. Big fan. It makes such a big difference. So for me, it's just like instead of spending my money on all these creams and going on all these medications, if I can change it by changing my diet, I think that's really cool.
But then why does everything so good? It's so bad for you.
I know.
Why is pizza not good for you? And I know you're probably gonna be like, you could have a cauliflower. And it's like, no, I want the shitty New York.
And the cauliflower pizza, I'm Italian. It's not. I'm not.
Right,
it's
you're
not,
Italian.
It's not the same.
So
I'm so
what
sorry.
the fuck?
I know. But you could do like 80-20 where 80% of the time you eat really healthfully. Or let's say you do make a pizza. Maybe you choose a different kind of crust that's, either you make it from scratch so you know what's going in it and you load it up with vegetables. Like, just like that's what I like about, and that's why I say wellness architect, because it's like, okay, like you're like, Alex, fuck you. I'm never giving up sugar. Cool.
I literally, she walked in and I was like, fuck you. Get the fuck out of my phone.
It's like,
I'm not going to listen to any of the shit you got to say. Oh, you were a TED speaker. Oh, you're important. You've changed people's lives. Can't break me, bitch.
Yeah.
I'm a concrete wall.
Yeah. And I was like, that's okay. I'll stay anyway. And
so, you're so kind to have stayed.
Thank you for having me.
Though I assaulted you with work.
I loved it. But that's cool. So then we work with that. And it's like, okay, maybe we don't take out this, but what can we add in? So it's like, it's very individualized. It's totally about your goals. And like, I don't know. For me, when I first started doing this, you know, a lot of like body composition and weight loss was part of the conversation, but now it's not. People, especially a younger generation, really cares about how they
Love
feel.
a body pause
Yeah,
movement.
totally love it, right? It's not about that.
It's not about size
not
and
about-
number on a scale. It's about feeling. And now that over 50, yes, this is true, over 50% of the population has chronic pain.
Yeah.
I think we're like, why before 30 does my back hurt every day? And is it like we just blame it on like workforce?
Yeah.
And I think our generation, like you mentioned, is the first one to be like, gut health.
Yeah.
What is gut health?
What is it?
And how like, why does what we put in our body really affect everything? And it's not really like, that's not like the first place we look when we're talking about wellness.
Yeah,
We're thinking of all the other shit.
It's all the other stuff. It's not about the juice and the Lululemon and all that crap. And I don't like
Lululemon. No, but seriously,
that should be the title of this episode.
It should.
It should.
It's either gonna be like fuck Lululemon or like I assaulted a wellness expert.
I actually love that better. Yeah. So it's for me, it's like just teaching people like, what do you have available? What do we have to work with? You know, a lot of times it's like, maybe I don't have a lot of money. So
Let's
that's
talk
okay.
about that. I mean, I think diet culture is definitely catered towards a specific demographic,
Yeah.
usually white upper echelon women that are already thin. So talk a little bit about that in your experience. How do you cater to someone that doesn't look like yourself?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about what do you have, what kind of time you have. So it's like for me, a lot of clients, I'm like, if you can get your hands on frozen vegetables, like those are great. Like, no, you don't like frozen grapes. It doesn't have to be frozen grapes.
Don't like frozen grapes.
Let it be known. But like a lot of times, like even if you're buying something fresh at like Trader Joe's or whatever, that's traveled. So a lot of times you can even get better nutrient quality by getting a food that's been flash frozen when it's at its ripest, and it's cheaper, and you can keep it in your freezer. So if you're traveling or moving around a lot, you're busy, you don't have to get to it right away. That's a great option. There's really cool, like there are some cool brands out there. Like, do you know that company Brandless?
No.
Oh,
I'm
Google
writing
it.
this down.
Yeah.
Brandless.
Yeah, so they don't have a big brand name attached to that. So everything's organic and
No pun
everything's
intended.
$3.
Wait, what?
Yes,
Holy shit.
I know.
Say that again for the people in the back.
Yes. It is called Brandless. There's no big brand name, so everything's $3 and it's organic.
Everything is $3. Wait, why does it say this matcha powder is $9?
Okay, I lied.
How do you
Most
find that? Where's the $3? Oh, here we go. $4.
Yeah, everything's pretty. Oh, I guess they added more stuff.
Oh.
Brandless.
Brandless. You're supposed to be brandless.
Well, everything is very
okay.
affordable. Like CBD,
Got it.
$9 isn't bad comparatively to like some companies that are like 60 and stuff like that.
Which is unique because I feel like everything is CBD right now.
That's the whole
And
thing.
There have been so many studies that I want to get this right before I tout it, but I'm going to make it up.
Yeah,
I don't care. I'm going to lie. It's my podcast.
Let's lie.
Let's say they've picked 10 CBD oils and 75 to 80% of them didn't actually contain any CBD.
Yeah, that
Because
makes
it's
sense.
not regulated.
No, it's not regular. And that's what's going to happen too. You're going to see it a lot now. Like the new trend is like the microbiome, the gut. We're all talking about that.
We're
so
all talking about
everything's
gut. Let's talk about
Let's
gut.
talk about gut. So what you're going to see now, the new trend is going to be, you're going to see probiotic everything, like probiotic. And we're already seeing it a little bit. Probiotic skincare, probiotic this. And like a lot of those things aren't, because it's not regulated.
What is a probiotic?
It just kind of like helps feed the gut.
Okay.
It's just, you know, it's a whole thing, but
It's science.
it's science. You've heard it here, but a lot of things, you know, they're not living, you know, a lot of those, a lot of times, like for example, if you go to Whole Foods and you buy a probiotic in the freezer section, our guts are so hot. If it can't even withstand room temperature, how is it going to live in your stomach?
So do or don't buy those ones in the refrigerator section.
Look, the probiotic thing is like a very debated topic, and there's like a lot of, there's
and
still
like
more.
vitamins in general.
Oh, yeah,
Do you
it's like-
think, what's your take on vitamins?
I think, you know, it can't hurt. If you're using vitamins that have, you know, if you do your due diligence, you do research, they're not adding weird ingredients, there's no sugar in them. Like there's some companies out there that are pretty much, I'm like, you're eating candy.
Yeah. Oh shit, that might be what I've been using because they taste really good.
I bet, yeah.
The Ollie.
Oh,
Let me look it up
I'm
real
sure
fast.
there might be.
Okay, keep going about vitamins.
But
'cause-
yeah, if you find something that, you know, you like the ingredients in and you read it and you look, a good marker of like, are my vitamins working, or like, do I feel more energized? Like, how do I feel?
Yeah,
Like,
I guess like I did a program. I was gonna make a video about it. I never released it. It was where I tried the $4,000 Ariana Grande brain scan for my mental health. Where
shit.
like they do a brain scan and then you get a treatment plan based off of like what they see on your brain scan. And I never did a video about it because it was I didn't feel different enough to make like a whoa kind of video.
Yeah.
But here's the thing I did take away from that is they put me on a crazy supplement regimen and I stayed on it, and it was none of their own products. It wasn't like them preaching. They were like, here's what you should take, stuff like NAC or like agashwanda, like very agashwanda and something huhuli or whatever it's called. A lot of like Eastern Ayurvedic,
like adaptogenic herbs and things like that.
Adaptogen, that's another word I keep saying. Adaptogens and collagen.
I know.
It's like, but I see it at Target now in the makeup section.
That's the problem, because it becomes mainstream. And look, the health industry, and this is why you and I kind of we kind of hate it sometimes, because it's like, it's $1 trillion industry, and people, you know what sucks is like people want to be healthy and make good choices, and companies are like, yeah, we're going to put the word vegan or paleo on the, or keto on the
green.
And people buy it and thinking like I'm doing great.
So what constitutes like good research? Like, how do I know if I'm buying shit that is just sugar? Or
I read the ingredients like crazy. Like literally that's the only thing I look at. I don't even look at like how much percentage of what is in there. I just look straight at the ingredients. And if I see sugar in it, I don't want it. If I see like corn or soy, I'm like, get it out of here, especially with vitamins.
Soy,
yeah.
So I did the 23andMe genetics testing. Well, I also did the food sensitivity one.
Cool.
And I've been hearing backlash about the food sensitivity one because because it basically says that it's just reading what you had recently, because you're doing either like a blood prick or a spit test, and it's going off of like what was in you. I'm hearing like confusing things about.
There's a lot that I always tell people, like, just really pay it. And I know this sounds stupid, like it's so easy. Obvious, but it's like really pay attention. Like if you don't feel good after you eat, like make a mental note, write down what you ate, eat, and you know, a lot of times like people have, it's not an allergy, it's a food sensitivity. And there's a lot of foods like eggs and things, soy, wheat, dairy, gluten, all your favorites.
Well, so the 23andMe came back saying that I was at a high risk for celiac.
Oh crap. Yeah.
And I started recently kind of doing a little bit more research into the symptoms. And I was like, oh, fuck, I think I need to get tested for celiac because, you know, spoiler TMI, I will have explosive, sudden diarrhea. Like I'm talking like if I'm in a jacuzzi, you're just bye to that jacuzzi
you
forever.
Get like a 30-second warning and you got to find a spot.
I don't even think it's 30 seconds.
Oh no.
I think it's like 10 to 15 and my whole body immediately sweats.
Oh yeah, no, that's not
normal, right?
That's not normal.
I've been living with this explosive butthole for so long now. Like I can trace it back to high school when every morning at like, I've talked about this so much, every morning at 7:24, right before the 7:25 bell would ring, I would shit my pants and my housekeeper would have to come and bring me a new pair of pants because I thought it was anxiety. So they said you had like young IBS where they were like, oh, you're just anxious and it's fucking up your gut health. But I'm pretty sure no one ever tested me for celiac.
It wasn't a thing then.
It wasn't a thing then. And now, so like, let's say someone comes to you and they're like, I don't want to do dairy. I have chronic pain. I'm sensitive. I'm a Gemini. How do you like go about making a meal plan for someone who's like, I don't want to change anything about my life. Here's who I am. But basically what I'm doing.
Is this person you?
How'd you guess?
You know, like I said, I walk people through and I'm just like, okay, what are your goals? And okay, maybe you're like, Alex, I'm not going to give up sugar. Okay, cool. But like,
I want to though. I just don't know how.
But you know what? It's
I bought those Kim Kardashian sugar lollipops.
What is that?
I know. The ones that you're supposed to eat that like make you not want sugar.
I don't know we'll look at those.
Okay. And I also bought the mints that if you eat them, then sugar tastes bad.
Did it work?
It does taste like shit when you put it in your mouth, but it does. I don't eat the mints.
Right. You're just like,
eat the sugar.
I'm going to eat the sugar. Yeah. You know, there's just so many products on the market. I'm just like, you know, for me, it's just, if, for example, if you're like, I do want to give up sugar, it's like, it's a process. It's a drug. You're detoxing from a drug. So.
Oh, that's a strong word.
It is. And people have withdrawals. Like a lot of times when people give up sugar, they get angry, they get headaches, they get violently sick, which is why they're like, forget it. I'm going to eat the way I used to eat.
Yeah.
So the best way to do it is like, you know, you drink a lot of water, you be patient with yourself. You try to like work it into your schedule in a way where you're not picking like the time you're going through something crazy or like, I'm going to move and quit sugar. Like,
it's never a good
Yeah,
time.
it's never a good time. But I like to create healthy treats. So it's like I'm gonna have fudge, but it's gonna be sweetened with berries, and it's gonna have cacao and coconut and all these great always I have
Monk
desserts.
fruit juice?
Monk fruit's great.
I just discovered monk
What do you
fruit
think?
juice, and
Do you
I
like
want to take a moment to really, listeners, monk fruit juice.
Are we a fan?
We are a fucking fan, girl.
yeah. Okay,
It is. There's no added sugar. It just is sweet
Yeah.
water from
Yeah.
this fucking plant juice fruit.
Yeah.
And it's if not sweeter than like an artificial.
It's
like
so much
stevia.
sweeter. And I use monk fruit to cook all the time.
Yeah.
There's that brand Lacanto.
Never
I don't,
heard of her.
Yeah, no, she's cool.
Okay,
no,
good.
I don't love all of her products, but she does like a pure monk fruit extract with that's the only ingredient.
That's what I have.
Yeah.
I bought it off of some like a witch lady at the Grove who
Love
has like
her.
a weird stand.
Great.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
You're
was like, you look obscure. Must be trustworthy.
Oh, yeah, this is great. Yeah, and you can use it to cook. I bake. I have muffins. I make pancakes. I have fudge, cookies, cake, all the things. I'm just getting creative with the ingredients that I put in it. And at first, it might be an adjustment, but after a while, what's so cool is like I eat cookies, and I used to like feel so guilty afterwards, or feel sick or mad
I
at
ate
myself.
7 the other day,
Yeah.
just in a row. I blacked out and just put 7
I've
in
done
my
that.
mouth.
Yeah, I've done that
But you do it without sugar in it.
without sugar in it.
There was a guy on a Goop podcast. Goop is Gwyneth Paltrow's company's
Oh, we know her,
podcast.
yeah.
We know her.
We
I
know
love her. But she had a guest on that was like basically what you do.
Yeah.
And he was like, sometimes I'll eat a gluten-free cake batter cookie. And that's my treat. Or he said, I indulge in peanut butter. And the host was like, boo.
Good for her.
Shut the fuck up. Like,
She's like,
so for me, when I hear about like you don't do sugar, the first thing that pops in my head is how do you socialize? How do you do anything? My socialization revolves around food. And I hate to say like I'm a foodie, but I'm an Anthony Bourdain stan. My vacations revolve around where he's been. When I go on vacation and travel, all I want to do is indulge in culture. I'm not thinking about my wellness. I'm thinking like, what's the best experience I can have with these people that I'm with for once in a lifetime? What's the one dish I can't have? But that's not sustainable. And it's not like I worry. I'm curious about how you handle social situations because I just don't have the willpower.
I mean, it really varies on the person. Like, if you are going to Italy, like, yeah, you want to have some pasta or some bread, like, don't miss out on that.
Unless I have celiac.
Unless you have celiac, and then don't. And then don't.
Have scoodles or whatever they're called. Squash noodles.
Same thing, right? No. I wish. But, it really depends. If you're the kind of person that, like, you don't have, celiac and it doesn't affect you, and you're the kind of person that, like, you can go out and have a good night with your friends, and then you're back on track the next day, and it's like 80-20, 80% you're healthy, 20% you're like, yeah, screw it. I'm going to, like, go have some I was going to say scroodles. That's not treating yourself.
Sounds like a sex position. I want to ask you, too, because I love this, like, 80-20 thing. And then you mentioned earlier binge. I don't know how to classify EDs, so like all the trigger warnings talking about this kind of stuff, but I definitely see patterns. I started seeing a nutritionist earlier this year and I stopped seeing her because she was beautiful and very thin. And I, A, wanted to have sex with her and B, wanted to punch her in the fucking taint.
It was both. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, like you're starting to get to that line.
Oh, no,
so
please don't.
I'm trying to really push down these feelings.
Yeah.
But she would be like, she would say I had eating disorder tendencies.
Okay.
And I'm like, well, she'd be like, do you hide your binges? And I'd be like, fuck yeah. I'm like lying to people and lying to myself.
Yeah.
And I think that that's a problem a lot of women have is just because like, I really do kind of black out. Like I kind of go like, this
I know
doesn't
exactly
exist.
how you feel. Yeah.
And so what the fuck? What the fuck? What is that? How do I stop?
It's really
Water.
hard. Just drink some water. You'll be
just
fine.
Drink some
just
water.
like
Look
have
at,
some water.
on Pinterest.
Yeah, just like No, like it was really hard, and a lot of times, like if I'm eating, especially like in this culture, we're taught from a very young age to self-soothe with food. It's like I remember my mom. We'd have to like go get our like vaccinations, which just who knows
Good
now.
for you.
Good for you. That's a whole thing. I don't know, but she'd be like, "Let's get an ice cream," or like you've seen the typical like I'm going through a break. I'm gonna eat ice cream, and so like we learn from a very young age like deal with our emotions through food, and I think that sometimes manifests in a poor way because I remember I would black out. I remember one time, this is so shameful, like so embarrassing.
Ooh, good.
It's shameful.
Tell me.
Well, like no, like I remember I would like my roommate at the time, when I had a roommate, she would buy like all the fun cereals and I wouldn't have any of that stuff. And I would like come home late at night, be stressed out, and I would eat all of her cereal and then be embarrassed and too embarrassed. So I'd have to like go buy another cereal and put it in the box and hide it from her because I was so
Rather than
embarrassed.
just buying
No, it was such weird, like it's crazy behavior.
you
Like
do
it's
weird
insane.
shit.
But I mean, I remember I would be weird. Like I'd go out to parties and I wouldn't eat anything, and then I'd get home and I'd eat everything.
Yeah.
Like those are things to look for. If you're scared to eat in front of people, that's something to be like, okay.
Yeah, maybe you can talk a little bit about of when to know you're kind of in the danger zone, because I feel like I work out 3 times a week. I have a trainer.
Yeah.
I eat hard-boiled eggs all the time.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll go, because I did all of that, I allow myself to eat the Pizza Hut,
And that's okay.
family-sized box.
And that's okay. It's
80,
just like,
20.
yeah.
But when should I be like, I need help? And how do you get help?
Yeah, those are great questions. So for me, it's like, if you feel like you're hiding your behavior a lot, like if you're shameful about it, then that's something to look into. Like, that's the thing with eating disorders. A lot of people, we've all seen in a Lifetime movie. You're like, you have bulimia. I had that too. You're hiding it. I would tell my boyfriend at the time, I would be like, oh, I'm sick. I don't feel good. I'm sick. That's why I'm in the bathroom throwing up. I'm not feeling good.
And that's not like who you are. It feels like a foreign concept. But
Yeah.
I'm like, it's such a personal thing. You'll do whatever it takes to self-soothe.
Totally.
Self-soothe. Wow, that really just
That's
tested
hard to
my
say.
list.
So yeah, if you're like sneaking around and you feel shameful, if you feel guilty after you're eating, that's another one, like constantly. And then a new thing that's coming out now is, because health and wellness is like really having a moment. It's popping.
Good for you.
Now
Good for business.
Yeah, it's great.
Money, money, money.
Yeah. People are coming up with orthorexia, where
What the fuck is that?
it's people are so afraid to eat. They eat so healthfully that they're like, they're afraid to eat anything because they're.
Did see something about this.
Yeah.
I actually talked about this once. I can't believe I
Here
just
it is.
forgot.
Yeah.
There's like some intense documentaries about that.
Yeah.
Where it's becoming like very scary to people, and like they're screaming when you try and put anything that's not green
I have a
in their
friend
mouth.
like that, and she had to go get treatment for that, but she was so afraid, is it organic? Where did it come from? And
Is it
that's
sustainable?
And that's not healthy either. You
Yeah.
know, like I'd rather somebody eat a cheeseburger and be totally cool with it and enjoy every bite and chew their food and not be hiding it in a corner somewhere. To me, that's healthier than someone who's drinking kale juice, stressed the fuck out all the time.
And I think it's about finding that balance,
Yeah.
right? Like Zach Kornfeld, fellow Try Guy, fellow podcaster, fellow YouTuber friend of mine. We always used to joke at BuzzFeed, because you're working every second that you're there, that they provided really fun, healthy snacks. And there was
that's
like an uproar when they took away the goldfish, because we were like, this is the one thing we have. Don't take the one thing we have. And he and I used to joke, like, we wish someone would just tell us what we're supposed to eat. Like, when it comes to the decision making and like the grocery shopping and like all the things that you have to worry about the environment, like one fucking almond causes like an entire
know.
country to collapse. It's like, it's so stressful
It's
that
very
I
stressful.
close the door and I order a family-sized Pizza Hut family box. Like,
Sure.
it's the balance, right?
It's balance, and look, you can educate yourself, but it's so stressful. Like,
It's
I watched
so
a
stressful.
documentary the other day about avocados, and like people are like dying over
Takes
these things.
50 years to grow one avocado.
It's a whole thing. It's a
my
whole thing.
God.
But we have to eat and we can't be scared. So it's just like, I think a good place to start is like, how do you feel after a meal? What are your behaviors around food? Like, are you feeling guilty and sad every time you eat? Then that's not working.
Yeah.
Like, we should look, if you're eating pizza and you're enjoying it and you feel good and you're moving through your day feeling energized, like, that's great.
Yeah.
Do it. It's really about how you feel and what you're getting out of it, because ultimately, like, food, our bodies are like cars, and so the better the fuel, the better you run. So if the whole point is like, you eat good not because you're supposed to look like a six-pack and wear Lululemon. It's like,
Fuck Lululemon.
yeah, fuck Lululemon. It's like, am I using that now? I have all this energy. Am I putting it into giving back to my community that I've created with my YouTube channel? Am I a better firefighter? If you're all the firefighters that listen, yeah.
Shout out to firefighters.
So all the firefighters that listen
Is
to
your
this show.
boyfriend a firefighter? He's
No, he looks
stupid
like one. I
hot.
know. God bless him. He used to be really overweight and had.
I was going to ask about that. That was one of my questions, not
Yeah.
to cut off your
No.
amazing speech, but I did have a question. Like, your boyfriend's hot. He's super in shape.
Thank you.
How, yeah, very,
Thank you so much.
congratulations.
I did it.
You did it. You can stop now. How did that happen in the relationship? Like, did you become a wellness architect before the relation? did he also have, like, is it dangerous when you put two really healthy hot people together? Like, are you guys going to turn into CrossFit cult leaders?
Oh my God,
like,
we hate CrossFit now.
Okay, I do too.
Yeah, it's not our thing. If it works for you, great. But
Great. We're not shaming.
We're not shaming.
But fuck CrossFit and Lululemon.
I was doing nutrition before I met him, and it was actually really cool because like we had a lot in common. He was really overweight as a kid and had a lot of issues around food, and he was also on a lot of medication for a lot of what is, I can't think of what it is, like when you Tourette's and all those things.
Okay, yeah.
So he was on a lot of medication, and the medication made him fat. And so as he went through his journey with eating, and we just happened to, we went to the same high school and didn't know each other because I'm older than him.
Oh,
I know.
go
Hey,
you, girl.
yeah, 3 years.
3 years. A whole 3 years.
A whole 3 years. I know so much more. So we went to the same high school, but we reconnected, and it was so funny because we had a lot in common. He did a TED Talk. Oh, I just hit you. Sorry, I'm Italian.
Okay.
I talk with my hands.
Mind.
I'm sorry.
I like the abuse.
And yeah, we both happen to be healthy. And let me tell you something. It makes it so much easier because
you have a partner.
Yeah, we both like to eat the same things, and it's cool because
going out to eat isn't such a stressful thing.
Oh, he's worse than me.
Oh, really?
Oh my God.
Oh.
He's a real sassy man.
Do you guys like indulge? Like, do you have, I have one of my best friends, they're a gay couple who in the gay community, like body is everything.
Sure.
And they have like one cheat day a week. And it's scheduled.
Oh, it's
and, like,
scheduled. Yeah.
I learned that from one of my nutritionists doing Michelle's Extreme Body Makeover. It's like, it feels less bad when you schedule the time.
Sure.
Like, Sunday, I'm going to go eat cake.
Right.
And like, I'm going to go fucking eat a whole cake rather than you come home from your day and you're like, I'm stressed out. I don't want to cook. Let me just eat all these cookies.
Yeah.
There's something mentally about like scheduling and I'm saying bad foods in quotes because another thing I learned from my nutritionist is to not label things bad or good.
Sure.
It's just fucking food.
I like to call it a treat meal instead of a cheat meal, so you don't feel bad.
Oh, a treat meal.
A treat meal.
Yeah. Happy Halloween.
Yeah, happy Halloween. But yeah, you can do that. Like Tim Ferriss talks about that, and like how
Who's that?
Oh, Tim Ferriss.
I need another person.
Oh,
I need
he's
to write
like
down.
a big. You should connect.
Tim Ferriss.
But he's like a big like biohacker, and he tries a lot of things. But he has a book. I think it's called like the 4-Hour Diet.
The 4-Hour Work Week.
Yeah, the 4-Hour Work Week.
He has a lot of books.
He's got a lot of books.
I like what a biohacker is like a body hacker.
Yes.
Like neuroscientists tend to be biohackers, and you can find these meetups about biohackers where you can like go talk about tricking your brain. Like that's what neuroplasticity is like
Oh my God.
reshape.
It's
another podcast.
It's a whole thing.
So he talks 4-Hour Work Week.
Yeah, but he talks about, he has a 4-hour book, He has a book called The 4-Hour Diet. And he talks about like going crazy on that day and just kind of doing that. But like I said, what's so cool is like, it really is, it's not one size fits all. It's really like, what's your lifestyle? What are your tendencies? What works for you? Are you the kind of person that like does really well when you're all in? Are you that kind of person that's like, I have balance, like I can go have a piece of cake.
And I think that's also like your part. I would assume part of your job. Like you're probably half therapist, right?
Total. A lot of
Maybe
it
more
is
than half
so much more than
therapist.
that.
Like a hairstylist is a hairstylist, but you're a fucking therapist.
Yeah, because you're trying to figure out like what are your tendencies, what do you like, how did you grow up, what's your relationship with food, and then figuring out from there. Because I don't think there's one way that works for everybody, which is so fun about my job because it's not like I'm like here's your diet, here's your
printout for this week.
Yeah, have a good diet.
Yeah, you're very talented.
I don't know why I pictured me with a cigarette. Like
yeah. No, it's like more like a cigar.
Yeah,
and a glass of a big Chianti.
Yeah. So it's like I really have to like really think and try to get an insight into like who this person is and how they work. But yeah, it really varies. But yeah, you could do it. I like the idea of scheduling something in the sense that you have a little more power. Like, okay, I know I'm going to this party on Thursday.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have lots of vegetables and drink lots of water, and then I'm gonna go get blackout drunk, and then I'm gonna come home.
Well, when you said the like your body stops missing it thing, at first I was like, this fucking girl.
No,
like,
but it's
wanted
true.
To jerk
I
off
promise
motion,
you.
but
Yeah.
I am 131 days sober now, and I have.
Do you miss it?
I have not craved a single drop of alcohol. You know what I miss?
Yeah.
The smell of wine.
Sure.
Not even the taste
Just
of
the
wine.
smell.
Just the smell of wine.
Smells good.
It floated by the other day, and I was like, oh my god. And then I had to check in and be like, oh my god, am I craving alcohol? And I was like, no.
Yeah.
The smell of wine is.
I do love the smell of
put
wine
it in
too.
a fucking
I know.
candle. Put it.
Oh,
up
wine
my
candle.
body.
It must exist.
Oh, I bet you.
Let's Google it.
Wine candle.
Like a Cabernet candle?
Oh.
Does it?
They have Negroni.
Oh.
Which is like gross.
Yeah,
it's like my least favorite drink.
$2 Chuck candle.
Oh my God. And it's only $2. Wait, we might be onto something here.
I see a business. We should.
Booming.
Yeah, we should do it.
Okay, I'm joking half, but
not.
like kind of people that like the smell of wine.
I would love a wine candle. And we could do all the different wines.
Yeah, all the different wines. And
Pinot
it could be
Noir.
like, oh my God. And it could be like catered to like the seasons too.
Oh, stop it.
We release like one a month.
Like wine. Like
seasonal
seasonal
candle. Okay, put a motherfucking pin in that.
Guys,
I'm calling my business manager right after this.
There's
But okay, so back to my point of that story before we just came up with $1 billion business.
Sure.
I agree. Well, like at first I wanted to jerk off motion in my head when you said I don't miss sugar. And I was like, yes, you fucking do. And then I was like, wait, no, my body literally relearned a craving.
Yeah.
It relearned an entire years of heavy drinking.
Yeah.
And I said this before, I don't frequent AA. And so many people were like, how did you just stop? And I was like, the first 2 weeks were pretty hard.
That's
and then
how it
that
is with
was
sugar.
it.
It's the same thing. Like you suck it up, you do it, but like, finding replacements is really great.
Monk fruit juice, bitch.
Yeah, monk fruit juice.
I think I'm just going to do like a drop of it every morning.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Here's the one thing that I revealed maybe once or twice on this podcast is that I went 29 years of my life without having a single cup of coffee. I was a teehee, loved it.
Yeah.
I had one really stressful time in my life about a month ago where I talked about it on the podcast where I was like, I can't tell you what's going on in my life, but know that it's the worst time of my life. And I drank a coffee once out of frustration because I needed the energy.
Sure.
And now I have 3 cups a day.
Welcome. Yeah.
I have found an alternative in oat milk that only has 2 grams of sugar in it.
That's good.
Which is pretty low for like any type of dairy sweetener.
No, it's not bad.
And then I put monk fruit juice in
See?
it. And then I'll even do like some rose water.
Stop it.
From my Mystic lady that I found at the Grove that
love
came in an unlabeled bottle. We'll have to go sometime to the Grove and like go harass her.
Please.
Because she's pretty great.
I'm pretty excited about her. Yeah.
Or I'll do like some lavender syrup, which is not ideal.
Look.
But you can make your own lavender syrup.
That sounds
which
awesome.
might I wonder if that's sugar free.
I'm sure.
Are your lashes your own?
They are. You should.
You gotta meet lashes.
I know. You got to meet my dad. My dad's a teacher, and people write on the comment cards, "Is he wearing makeup?" Like my dad has the craziest
Your lashes are so long.
I know, it's stupid.
Is it because you're fucking a good healthy eater?
Well, no, it's because I'm Italian and hair grows. Look, if it grows here, it grows everywhere, girl. Like it's not. You know what I mean? Like
you're
it's
like
not,
blessing and a curse.
Yeah,
but hey, body hair is like my armpits are very long right now.
It's making
you
a
gotta
comeback.
Embrace it.
I'm here for it.
Okay, so then I have to ask, like, you talk about like being imperfect with this journey, right? Like you're not preaching like a certain method. You're not like saying this is the way you have to do something.
No.
Like, how do you then as a person have imperfections? Like, where do you feel
I'm
like
bad at math?
me too.
Like really, like bad.
Same.
Like really bad. Like people would think I'm.
You should check and see if you have dyscalculia, which is numbers
Is that a thing?
dyslexia, which is what I found out I had because I dropped out of high school math.
Yeah, great. I math really did a lot of damage to my confidence. Yeah. No,
it's not. Your answer isn't allowed to be you binge on a cookie once or you overeat peanut butter. It has to be something shitty. What's something shitty about you?
Like food wise?
Sure. Just in life.
Life.
Wait, do you ever feel shameful about food anymore? Like, do you ever go,
it's really cool because like I will say this is something I've struggled with for most of my life. Like very small. Like I've been eating like this for the last 4 years, like without sugar. Because when I was vegan, I was like eating vegan cookies and all the things. And
because vegan food isn't always healthy. No, it's like mostly
like
unhealthy.
ideally you should be eating vegetables, but like that's the same. I will say the same for paleo, keto, all that stuff. People are like, oh, we're gonna make this trendy, slap a label on it, call it keto and vegan, and stick a bunch of sugar and crap in it. So yeah, like my whole life, like I didn't know that you could feel good. Like I was like, oh, you're not supposed to like double over in pain after you eat or feel bad. So like that's been cool. Like every time I eat something now, I feel great, and I've figured that part out. The part that I struggle with, and for me, when you work for yourself, it's really hard to create boundaries. And for me, I'd wake up and I'd literally put my phone in my face and start going through emails and be stretched out and hunched over the computer like a gremlin and like not brush my hair for like 3 days and in my PJs.
Yeah. Oh, look at me.
You look great. You look great.
I put on like some spritzer for you, but
I think you look great. Your brows are fantastic.
They're microbladed.
They look wonderful.
Thank you.
So it's like for me, like that's been a struggle, you know, because when you get into a place where you like for a living, you
You're your own boss.
Yeah, you're your own boss. You work with other people. You know, I was like, literally, I have carpal tunnel because I'm on the computer all the time. I'm crunched over. So that's something I'm working on. And you know what? I got a dog.
Congrats.
Thank you. He is the love of my life.
What's his name?
His name is Juan Carlos, which sounds racist, but I didn't mean it to be.
I have a cat named Jose Gato.
Oh my God. Okay. We were meant to be friends.
Exactly.
I love him so much. He's a rescue. And when I got him, the best thing that ever happened, he changed my life so much because he gets in my face. He's got huge ears, like a bunny.
I need to see pictures.
Yeah, he's very handsome.
What kind of dog?
He's like, we think he's like a min pin.
Oh, cute.
He's little and he's got like a lot of pizzazz.
Yeah.
And so he gets in my face at 6:30 in the morning. So he gets me up early. And the first thing we do is we go on a really long walk. And that has like, I was like, oh, meditation, walking, wellness. Okay. I see you, because
it gives you responsibility.
Yeah.
To,
like I can't meditate. I'm like a little squirrel and I have to keep moving all the time.
Sure.
Like do you know anything about Ayurvedic wellness? Like it's the sister science to yoga.
Just the supplements I take.
Yeah. Okay.
But
so there's
not
Ayurvedic herbs, but
anything.
they kind of categorize people in doshas, like you're a winter type.
I don't know.
Oh, it's very cool.
I'm gonna look it up.
Oh, it's so
It
interesting.
sounds like up my alley.
Oh, it's fantastic. Because I feel like out of all the nutrition things, I'm like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. So I'm the kind of person that I will grind. I will grind so hard. I will make things hard that aren't hard. And that's what I'm working on right now.
Okay. So slowing down a little, being more mindful.
Yeah, but I hate that word. But you know what I mean?
So do I. But also,
I get it.
It's fucking true.
It makes sense. And it's right.
Oh, I just realized the sun's in your eyes. Are you
That's
okay?
I'm okay.
I didn't shut my window.
That's
for
okay.
You.
I'm okay.
You're glowing.
I glow.
You just looked so great. I didn't think that you might be being blinded.
No, it's the sun.
Those eyelashes are like bouncing off. They're like refractors for you. Meanwhile, I'm in my cozy shade over here. I want to ask about mindfulness, because I'm on a TV show where we watch dates and then we make fun of people, but it's like fun making fun of people.
Yeah.
And there was this one girl on there who put the dinner in her mouth when she was on the date, and she like closed her eyes and basically had an orgasm, and like I'll have what she's having moment. And I went, I bet she's mindful eating. Yeah. And then the next clip was her going, you've never mindfully ate before? And I was like, ugh,
yeah, no.
You make it look so bad. But I will say now, when my boyfriend and I's favorite food is sugarfish. I don't know if you know sugarfish.
Yeah.
They put sugar in their rice for sushi, and that's why it's good. So you're not allowed to have it. Yeah. But it's really good sushi.
I bet it's great.
And we really take the time, and we almost kind of make a joke out of it, which makes it more acceptable to do.
Totally, yeah.
And we'll be like, and we'll really feel like something I learned from my nutritionist that I still try to implement, and even though it's annoying, is I go, before I eat, how am I feeling before I eat?
And I know, yes, but
it's annoying.
Yes,
but like,
yes.
Why am I feeling this right now before? What's my intention going into this meal? And fuck me, I want to kill myself for even saying that, because like, God, I never thought I'd be this person.
But it's true. And like, if you're eating because you're sad, maybe deal with that first. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or like,
and it's hard because it's not even something you're really aware of. You're just like, I'm going to a meal and let me just enjoy this meal. This is me enjoying this meal, even though I'm crying and I don't feel good afterwards. I'm enjoying this meal. Let me just like have this moment. But I think it's like, how do I feel? What's my intention going into this meal?
Yeah.
How am I enjoying it? Like, am I just scarfing through it because I'm about to go to work? Like, am I going kind of slowly because I'm enjoying the company with this person? Is it like a business meeting that I don't want to end? And then after, like, how do I feel emotionally afterwards?
I love that.
Physically afterwards, am I in that like, oh shit, I'm gonna explode diarrhea moment? And it's hard to track food too. Like, it's hard to say like, what about this meal made me feel like shit, right? Like, for instance, I had explosive diarrhea moment 2 nights ago when I had this like tofu fusion Indian, like it was veggies, heavy peanutty sauce with tofu.
Right.
And then I had explosive diarrhea, and I was like, which part of that was the explosive diarrhea? How do you track what makes you feel like shit?
Yeah, I recommend keeping a food journal. And it's like, I grew up, I know that sounds so dumb.
No, it sounds...
Dear Diary.
Yeah, it sounds Dear Diary, like another thing I have to do during my day.
Yeah, even if you write it down in the notes in your phone, like I ate this, this, and this, and I was bloated after. Mm-hmm. You know, I think it makes a difference, and it helps because maybe sometimes you can't afford a food test, an allergy test, because those are expensive. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, just take 2 weeks, write down every time what you eat, you know, how do you feel afterwards? And if you're trying to track something specific, specific, like my, acne or bloating, energy levels. You can just kind of like make note of that. Cause this is something I think about all the time. Just because a food is healthy doesn't mean your body likes it. And
Ooh,
so
interesting.
not everybody's body works the same way. And so for me, like I was eating a ton of kale and
I fucking hate kale.
I hate kale too. No, it was just, I wasn't digesting it. I was feeling really bloated, really sick. And I got rid of eating kale and I feel great again. So just because something's healthy doesn't mean like such a white girl thing to say. Kale's like not for me.
Not for me.
But like that's because a lot of times people are just going through the motions, like eating the things that we're supposed to eat, and if you're not feeling good or you're not getting results, get rid of it. Don't do that.
So winding down, because we talked forever.
We did.
Gratefully, very glad. What is the benefit of having a wellness architect in your life? For me, like having a trainer, I thought, okay, I'll go for 6 weeks and then I'll just do everything in my home gym. And I realized I'm not paying for like the exercises and the gym membership. I'm paying for the accountability.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Expensive accountability, but like it's fucking worth it. Yeah. So like for people that don't know that there's an option to do this with support, what is something that like you can offer people that makes this worth it? Yeah.
I mean, for me, it's like I work one-on-one with people and I love my program because I do it virtually. So I can work with people who live anywhere. And I'm like, don't drive and deal with traffic. Like be in your PJs, like have your cats with you. You know what I mean?
Sister.
Yeah. So, pick an environment that's comfortable. And then also, I don't try to sell people on I don't do packages. I'm like, I have a three-week program if you wanted it. But like ultimately, if you work with me once, you get everything you need. And then you see me again when you need me again. Cool.
That's great.
Yeah. I don't, I don't like selling people
No,
things.
You're like, I'm a bad salesman, but I'm a truthful salesman. And I think that's important.
Like if you don't need it, cool. Like I don't want someone to have to rely on me or be afraid every time they eat or need to pick up the phone every time they eat. Like
how I became with my nutritionist. I was like, I don't want to go in and disappoint her every week.
No, but it's like, it's fine if you're like trying to create a habit and you use that. But like ultimately I want to empower you to like go through your life and through your kitchen and be able to choose your meals. And look, I can tell you what I think is good, but you know what you're experiencing in your body after you eat. I have no idea what it feels like to be you, and so
you don't want to be in this area.
I bet it's fun.
No, it's a journey,
but it's a really fun time.
I want to say that I tried a bunch of meal service delivery things because I just like don't have time to cook or whatever, but I really liked Freshly. I don't know if you've heard of Freshly.
I've heard of them, but I haven't tried them yet.
It's been my favorite, and I've tried all of them. I've tried like the $140 a week like environmentally friendly ones. I've tried the fucking Blue Aprons, the Green Chefs. Freshly is my favorite. This is not an ad. One day maybe. But it comes cooked and prepared, and you just pop it in the microwave. But you can do like dairy-free, vegan options, vegetarians, and it's just like you don't even have to think about it, and it's fucking delicious.
And that's great. See, if that's something that like it's in your budget, you can afford, and like you have to know yourself and like what you're gonna do. If you're like, I'm gonna go grocery shopping and buy all this healthy shit, and then I'm gonna shove it in the back of my cabinet. Don't do that. Like,
so you gotta get real honest with yourself.
Yeah, you gotta get on it. Like, what are my habits? There's a great book called The Power of Habit, and it teaches you like how like companies study the way our brains work and how we create habits.
Yeah, and that's why I get fucking targeted ads on
Instagram. they know. And so they're studying how the human brain works and how we create habits. And so like try to biohack it where you create the habits that you want to have. Like you're in control. It's your journey.
Will you help me answer one fan question before we go? Because you said something in the beginning that I went, oh my God, this is a perfect question for her to help answer. This person wrote me a handwritten letter. So that's
so nice. Those exist still?
I didn't know until it showed up. I was like, what is this?
What is the post office?
What is this dirty paper? Her name's, I bit my tongue. Her name's Sarah. And she goes through saying, the whole letter basically says she's 20 years old. She really doesn't know what the fuck she should do with her life. She started studying engineering. She doesn't like it, but she has no clue what to do next. She feels like a failure already. And her life as an adult just started. So she writes letters to people in hopes that they would give her some good advice.
Oh, cool.
Just to clarify, she says, I'm not a weirdo. I just like to get honest opinions. She says it's giving her really bad panic attacks because she doesn't know what to do with her life. She just can't figure out what I want to do with the rest of my life. Thanks for your help, Sarah.
Yeah. I went through that, you know, when I was.
You said that.
I
were
did.
like, I don't know what the fuck to do.
I didn't know what the fuck to do.
Singer.
Yeah, I didn't know because, like, you know, sometimes we like our identity becomes tied to like the thing we're good at,
Your career.
yeah, and you know, for me, somebody gave me really good advice, and they said, you know, try everything, and knowing what you don't like is great because once you cross, find out what you don't freaking like.
I say that about relationships all the time. I'm like, don't feel bad that happened. Like now you know what you absolutely will never fuck again.
It's great, right? It's good information. And so if you're like, oh, I tried this job, I don't freaking like that. Let me tell you something. I was interning at MTV, which was hilarious because when I worked at MTV, I had one guy on my first day. He said, if you can figure it out yourself, don't ask questions. And then I never saw him again. And I like walked around MTV for 2 weeks and no one knew who I was. And then I found out he got fired. Everyone's like, where are you? And I was like, don't ask questions. Noted. But like, I figured out like, I don't like working in an office. And that was very, very valuable for me because I was like, okay, maybe it's going to be creating a job that doesn't exist or creating something on my own terms. But yeah, figure out what you don't freaking like and go from there. And then it becomes narrow and narrow and narrow where you're like crossing stuff up and just, be cool with not liking something.
Fucking trumpet.
Yeah.
Try that. If you're not, cross off your list. I don't think I could give better advice than that. Like, right? I should also say, you mentioned that you're 20, Sarah. You've probably already heard this, so it's not going to be like, you're not going to like what I'm about to say, but you're not supposed to fucking know.
You don't know.
Right? Like there's those quotes like Tina Fey didn't start comedy till she was 30. Oprah didn't get her own show until she was 32. Or like, your 20s is about figuring out who you are. And like, it's probably frustrating because you are a go-getter and you're someone who wants success. And I don't blame you because I'm the same way. But take this time, like know that just because you're starting adulthood doesn't mean you're automatically supposed to be successful. If that's the way it was supposed to go, then everyone would fucking do it. Yeah. And it's find your passion.
Yeah. And I've heard a podcast where there's a lady, she has an Instagram called No Crumbs Left.
She's cute.
Yeah. She's like, I feel bad saying this but she's older. She's like, I think she's in her late 40s or 50s and she just figured out what she wanted to do then.
Never too late to start a podcast.
Never too late.
Start a fucking podcast.
Yeah.
That was great. You nailed that shit on the head. It was like, this was a perfect marriage of advice and love. I want to do I want to do another. This is the last episode. I want to do a giveaway for my friend Hannah Hart's new book. Her new book is My Drunk Kitchen Holidays, How to Savor and Celebrate the Year. I was just doing a live show with her in Boston. I've gotten to read a lot of the book already. It's recipes and stories, and I just love it so much. I'm keeping this, but what I'm giving away is her beautiful gay ass spatula. And this is a deal with Williams Sonoma and No Kid Hungry. So for every one of these cute ass My Drunk Kitchen spatulas that are bought, it provides a meal for 40 children.
That's fantastic.
Isn't that great?
That's
so
cool.
I'm going to give away this spatula and her 4 coasters, which have like cute little sayings on them. All you have to do is rate this podcast on iTunes. Take a screenshot of your review and send it to @ConfidentlyPod on Instagram, and we will pick a winner, just like we picked a winner last week for those essential oils. We just like to give away free shit. We like to keep our viewers on their toes. Will you win? It's like the lottery. Price is right. Fun times. Alex, I'm so glad. I can't believe how long we talked. I literally was so fearful about this episode because I'm like, this is just such a scary topic.
It is, but you know what? Screw it. It's your own journey. You pick whatever you want.
You did so great. And thank you for making it very accessible and inclusive. And where can people find you?
Yeah, if you go on Instagram at Eat Cute, I am there.
I forgot to mention that's like the name of your business is Eat Cute, which I love.
Thank you.
And you should watch your TEDx talks, which are going to be linked below, and your book, which you came out in 2013, is still very relevant.
Is it? Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and I love the title, so I'm going to put that link below. Make sure to follow Alex if you have any questions. Bombard her, DM her. She's very cute. Don't try and slide into her DM. She has a boyfriend. And we will see you next week. Bye.